So you're invited to a wedding this summer and you want to look fire. I've got you. Here is the ultimate guide to choose the best suit for a summer wedding to make sure you don't only look great and leave a good impression, but you also feel comfortable throughout the whole event. Since it's a summer wedding, it's most likely that the weather is a lot warmer. Therefore, you will need a suit that is a lot more breathable. For this, go for materials like linen, seersucker or cotton. These materials are a lot more breathable and they will ensure that you don't sweat as easily and you actually feel a lot more at ease. So stay away from materials like polyester, rayon or other artificial materials because one, these are not as breathable, and two, they will cheaper your appearance. With regards to colors, here is a general rule of thumb. If it's a daytime wedding, wear lighter colors, but don't go too crazy on this because you don't want to grab the attention or actually the wrong attention, because again, it's a wedding and the whole attention is supposed to be on the groom and the bride. So if you want the attention, get your own wedding. If it's an evening wedding, then wear darker colors, because traditionally speaking, evening events are considered a lot more formal, especially weddings. Therefore, darker colors are more suitable for the moment. So in my opinion, go for colors like navy, dark blue, dark gray, dark browns or slightly light browns as well can do the job, and make sure you get a linen suit. Quick story time. The first time I got myself a linen suit, which was last summer, I thought to myself, why didn't I do this before? Because honestly, as soon as you wear a linen suit, you feel the difference. It's a lot more breathable. Your whole body, you feel like you can actually move around and you can actually do things. And if you're going to a summer wedding, I will strongly recommend going for a linen suit. Now, if you think you're ready, then think again, because if you want to stand out from the crowd in a good way, then keep watching, because the next tips and the next guides will really differentiate you from anyone else. So the thing is, many people can actually, get the right material, they can get the right colors, and then that's it. They just wear the suit, they go to the wedding. But if you want to leave a great impression and you want to actually look like James Bond, let's say, without actually taking the attention from the hosts, then you need to do these next things. The first thing you have to do after you get your linen suit, it goes without saying, you need your suit to be tailored. Now, many actually manage to get the suit tailored, but they don't do it the right way. So when you have your suit tailored, you need to consider a few things. Here they are. When getting your blazer tailored, you need to make sure that you touch a few points. Speak to your tailor. He will obviously advise you, because again, what you want to achieve here, it's a timeless look, a look that isn't trendy, fashionable, because I guarantee you, and from experience I made this mistake, is when you go for trends and you wear things in a trendy way, 4 or 5 years down the line, when you look back at a picture, you just think, oh my days, what did I do? Whereas if you go for timeless fits and timeless cuts, you don't have that problem, because again, it's timeless for a reason and it looks proportionate and great on every man. With that said, when you get your blazer tailored, before you get your blazer, you need to ensure a couple things so that this actually has a timeless look. So number one, make sure that the blazer actually suits you and isn't too big nor too tight. Yes, you need to get your size, but you also need to be able to move. The second thing you gotta consider when getting your blazer is the lapel. So the thing with lapels is that lately, at least, hopefully, this trend is actually changing, but the past few years, suits were actually made with a very, very tiny lapel, and that honestly just looks awful. Sorry for the people who actually like this trend, but it looks very odd. And when you're getting a suit, just ensure you get a suit that has a decent amount of materials here so that you can actually see the shape of the lapel, because again, what they do, they work with proportions of your face and your chest really. So having short lapels is really a no-no if you want a timeless look. Now, the third thing you gotta consider with a blazer, or obviously, you know, your jacket, is the length of your backseat. Again, this is a trend that hopefully is going away, but if you want a timeless look, if you want to look great and really, you know, put together, please ensure your behind is actually covered. The worst thing you can do is actually having a decent looking, you know, suit and your jacket looks on point until you actually, you know, turn around and people see you behind. And the thing is here as well, it looks like you actually got your blazer from, you know, the kids section, and that is just a look to stay away from. Next, you gotta consider your trousers. Once you go to your tailor, again, have a conversation with him or her. They will guide you on what's the best way to guarantee, you know, the best look for your body shape. However, a few things to consider when getting your trousers is the height of the waist. Please, if you can, don't get low-waisted trousers, but instead opt for a mid or even a high-waisted trousers, because again, these not only will make you look better, but you will feel better, because when you tuck your shirt in, for my experience at least, is with low-waisted trousers, it's so uncomfortable to tuck your shirt in, and most of the time you see that coming out a little bit, whereas when you have a mid to high waisted trousers, the game is different. So yes, I would advise you to get a mid to high waisted trousers. Now, tailor wise, unless it's the look you're going for, what you want is to get your trousers length to get to your ankles basically. So opt for a no break cut for the length of your trousers. This basically means that your trousers are almost sitting on top of your shoes, almost, if it makes sense. I will add an image here so that this is a bit more clearer. Now, the last thing you're going to consider with trousers is, please, even when, you know, getting them tailored, please don't do the mistake I did, which was obviously tailoring the trousers way too tight, because again, that was the trend back then. But when you look back at the pictures, you're just like, oh Lord, Lord help me. But yeah, when getting your trousers tailored, make sure they are comfortable, make sure that you can actually move in them and you don't feel restricted. So yeah, don't get them too tight, it will look weird. We're going for a timeless look, and this will need to be something you feel comfortable and you can actually move in. This doesn't mean you need something baggy or big, but just right to your body. So the next thing to consider when going to your tailor is obviously your shirt. So you will need to do some pre-step here before actually going to a tailor. So when you're buying your shirt, make sure that the length on your hand, it's actually right and isn't too big and doesn't go all the way down, because again, that would mean that you got the wrong size. The other thing you gotta consider is the belly, the shoulder, and your waist, because if you want it looking amazing and spot on, get a shirt that obviously isn't too tight to your body. Get a shirt that is to your proportion and alter it with your tailor to obviously make sure that we accentuate we accentuate the right parts to give you that sexy look. So I guarantee you this, once you get your shirt tailored to your proportion, you will already feel amazing, because again, a well-tailored shirt is just something. Now, with regards to accessories, generally speaking, unless you are part of the groomsmen or you've been asked by the groom to wear a bow tie, generally speaking, you want to stay away from wearing a bow tie, unless, again, it's part of the dress code. Because the attention, again, is on the host. And in my opinion, and from the weddings I've been to, most men choose to wear a bow tie on a wedding, and the groomsmen as well do that. And to obviously differentiate from that, you want to wear something that is still timeless and elegant, yet isn't grabbing the attention and sort of putting you together to the category you're not supposed to be in, if it makes sense. So just make sure wear a tie and don't wear anything again too colorful or too loud. The idea here is a timeless look and something that makes you look great but doesn't make you stand out. And with regards to shoes, since it's a summer wedding, I would probably advise to wear either loafers or summer walks. And despite it being against the traditions, even very crispy white sneakers will do. And when I say sneakers, I don't mean your Air Forces, no, I mean nice, simple and elegant white shoes. You're ready to go and really make a difference to that summer wedding. Whether obviously, you know, you want to look best like James Bond or sexy or whatever, following these tips will really help you accentuate the best parts of your body. And again, the secret here is to obviously have the conversation with your tailor so that they understand what you are going for and how they can complement your body shapes to the best way possible.